Hey, YouTubers, how are you? I'm live here before I go live anywhere else. So when you guys join, I hope I have to exit this so it doesn't play back on me. When you guys join, say hi on YouTube. And if you're watching the replay, make sure to always say hi. I really believe in this platform and in my podcast, and I love connecting with all of you. It means the world to me. It makes me so fulfilled and excited. So please make sure to do that. I do always come back and listen to the comments on YouTube. So let's see here. We're going to now record for you YouTubers. You guys always get like a first shot, a first see at this. So oh, hey, it's Colleen Gallagher, and welcome to episode 101 of the Colleen Gallagher podcast. We are a top 1,000 global health and wellness podcast with the intention to be a space that you can come and tune in to receive a frequency that will activate, educate, and empower you to begin living a lifestyle you love that supports you financially. If you are returning, oh, hey, and if you are brand new, hello and welcome. Health and wellness became a passion of mine because I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at age 14. And after really, it was so long, guys. It was 9 long years of suffering. I self-healed my body, mind, and soul. So in these episodes, I bring you my own voice as well as people I meet along my journey to offer perspective, inspiration, and real life proof that when you choose to follow your dreams, you say yes to what is inside of your heart, that you will begin to create a lifestyle that is wildly impactful, fulfilling, and abundant beyond your wildest dreams. We cover topics from health and wellness, digital marketing, new age spirituality, global development, and pop culture events as it relates to the Great Awakening. So get ready, tune in, subscribe on whatever medium you listen to on, and make sure to leave us a review and let us know what you're loving. You can email us on my website, www.colleengallagher.co, to request episode topics and let us know how everything is going. I love you and thank you for being part of this collective community. I'm so excited for the day I get to meet you and give you a big hug. And so with that, let's get into today's episode. Oh my goddess, I'm just so excited to be here on this Monday morning. And the fact that I arrived early to my podcast is like a big deal for me. Oh, but I should show you guys this if you're on the video. So this is my brand new award that I won from Education 2.0. I'm actually going to grab it really quick so you guys can watch it on the video. But look at this is my award I won, Outstanding Leadership from Education 2.0. I need to find where like the perfect place to put it in my place. But so right now it's just kind of on this desk hanging out while I figure that out. And then as you guys see, I have my third book, An Uncompromised Life. We have my crystal line, the Crystella Crystal, the rose quartz. We have my Oracle deck. I should actually pick a card for us. And we have my sunglasses. But so anyway, oh, and I have my coin, my magical coin. So if you guys want to activate abundance, this is perfect to like put in your wallet or like by your laptop if you're working. I made these coins and they're just beautiful. So anyway, but before I get into today's episode, let's pick a card from my Magical Creature Oracle card deck. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on my website or on Indie Deck Hub, which is really cool. We actually just sponsored an event with my Oracle deck, which is going to be so fun. And I'm really excited about that. So the card for each of us, wherever you're listening to this, it's Fretta. Fretta has a pink background. She's very beautiful. She's feminine. The pink background means working on your mindset. So this one says, be your own hero, take your own hand, and lead yourself to the land of dreams. I love that. So wherever you are listening to this, I want you to know that you can be your own hero. You're the one who can lead yourself into the life that you want to live and everything else. So with that, today's episode, we're going to get into, it's all about acceptance. I really want to talk about acceptance because I think it's a word that keeps coming back into my life. And for those of you who watched my social media this weekend, well, I shouldn't even say this weekend, I feel like I'm going through a really big up level. Like 2022, I feel like is this year for me where I'm like purging. It's like a releasing. I'm just letting go, like everything that's no longer mine to carry. I'm letting go of weight, letting go of ties. I'm letting go of conversations. I'm letting go of expectations. I'm letting go of ideas of how I thought things would be for like a long term. And I'm just releasing all these things. And so this weekend particularly was a little bit traumatic, which I want to start out and share with you guys and just talk about, because I feel like I leave this part of my life so private, and I want to be more honest because I'm not this perfect person that lives this perfect life. There's, a lot of pain that I've experienced in my life, which is what's made me so happy or so positive. Um, there's a lot of pain I experienced, and I think I've been able, maybe it's my Scorpio nature, my commitment to enlightenment, that I've alchemized these things, but it doesn't mean that I don't go through things. And so I'm going to write a post on it, but really recently I went through a splitting up of a friendship that was really deep and profound, but both of us kind of knew for a while the friendship had took its toll. And then sadly, due to a what's it called? Due to an action that I did, this person felt like, that's what gave, I guess, our relationship, due to an action, took the space for us both to say like our time as friends has passed. And it was really hard because it was someone I thought would be a friend for a long time and was like family. But I think what I'm learning is that nothing is forever. And you have to accept the fact that sometimes we change and grow and evolve, and it's okay to part ways. It's okay to say like we're not in alignment for where each of us want to go in our life anymore. And there's nothing bad about that. Um, the other thing that happened that was, another thing is, you guys know, with my third book, An Uncompromised Life, it's right here. This book, An Uncompromised Life, is my third book. And this is my first book, Live Your Truth. And this is my second book, The Future for Rohingya's Education. So I have 3 different books, but this book specifically, I went through a really deep experience with a man where, he was dating another woman and he lived with her, but wasn't honest, and still to this day isn't honest, and like says they never lived together. And we kind of all went into a relationship together. I had a relationship with her. I had a relationship with him. We all 3 had a relationship. Like, it was a very interesting dynamic. And I guess I obviously wanted to experience it, or I wouldn't have experienced it. Right. Um, but they like kept it from me. Like, basically it was almost like they had intended something with me, and then I was kept in the dark, and they painted a picture a certain way to get me to do things. Then I realized that it was a different picture. So anyway, I ended up getting pregnant because I stayed in that relationship way longer than I wanted, because I knew that's not what I wanted for my life. And I became pregnant. And that was like my wake up sign from God of like, you're not living your purpose. You're not living who you're meant to become. This relationship is not enhancing your life. And so I aborted the child within 6 days of knowing. I had no conversation with him. And then within 2 months after that, I deleted him out of my life. And he showed up, ironically, to the woman who was this person that was my best friend, showed up to her birthday and waited there 8 hours to talk to me, to speak to me after not seeing me for over a year. Or sorry, that was one year. It was like short because it was a few months. And then the next year it was 8 hours because so much time had passed and I never reached out. I never texted. I never emailed, like nothing. And it was really hard. It was probably it was like almost overcoming a heroin addiction. It really, really was. It was so challenging because there was so much a child and unanswered questions with this person. About a year and a half later, they came to 18 months to be exact from the previous time I saw them before at a birthday party. They came and they waited 8 hours at this birthday party just to talk to me. And I waited 13 days till after that. And I reached back out and we went on another deep relationship. But what I'd found out in that 18 months, that he actually had another woman pregnant at the same time that I was pregnant. They planned it. He paid her that money to become pregnant. And the other woman he was in a relationship with had ended. And he now had a son. And I still chose to go into this relationship. From this relationship, I chose to do a collaboration with him on my social media. And I actually paid him out more than that, $17,000 from my company for the collaboration that he didn't share. They were all my clients, and I did back end work on funnels that I never got paid for. I basically did it for free. And I did this in the name of love, right? In the name of love. And this weekend, which was really fascinating, is I found out that he's lied again. And the whole time he's been with the child's mom, and the child's mom having no idea how much I've been in the son's life. All the shit that her child's father has talked about her, that, you know, just so much, like all the things he's told me about her and her relationship with her child. Like, it was just this insane experience that I found out by going on Instagram. And it was heartbreaking. It was a heartbreaking situation. And in a way, it was exactly what I needed, because I finally came to an acceptance of this, that he is who he is and it's never going to change. And I think as people, we have to learn to accept people for who they are. And I think that's been really hard for me. I've always wanted to see people in their highest timeline, or they say that this is what they want to do, or this is what they want to experience in life. And then I see them at that place of what they're doing, because I'm an action taker. If I say something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take action. I'm going to move towards it. I don't think about it for a long time. I don't dwell about it for a long time. I'm fucking think about it and I make it happen. And I think what I've learned through these two experiences, these two releases, and I had one other friend that I released as well, it wasn't as profound as these two friendships, but it was, a meaningful relationship. I have to accept, and I think all of us, like, people are who they are, and we have to accept who we are. And sometimes the standards and the things that we desire in a relationship, someone can't deliver. Like, this man did not have the capacity to hold what I want. He couldn't do anything in the digital world. I allowed him to manipulate my mind to not be paid for services that I did, that if it was anybody else he was collaborating with would have absolutely charged him. But because we're in a relationship, I didn't. Paying him money because he needed money for a car, because his money's locked up with this ex that, whatever, who even knows if that's true or not. You could just be making it up. But I just did all these things out of the name of love. And I think that it's okay to accept sometimes that we are naive, or that we make excuses for ourselves or the behavior of others to hope that they'll get a different result. But I want this podcast to be about acceptance, and accepting that people are who they are. They're not what they say, they are what they do. So the moment that you're in a relationship with someone, and you're in a relationship with everyone, like right now we're in a relationship, and the moment you listen to this and you feel like, how do I describe this? The moment that you feel something like, this is not in resonance, something's going wrong here, something doesn't feel right. The moment you feel that, you have to accept that that's probably truth, and that's probably the universe trying to guide you in a different way. It's trying to let you refocus your energy where it's meant to go, instead of the thing or person or job that you're currently at. And you want to really begin to tap into that feeling, like moving your body. If you're watching me, like you and I do this, I'll be like, what do I feel? What's going on? And I'll feel, right, like the landing in my body. Like, I can feel like, oh, I feel safe here. I feel gentle. I can feel like, tense. Something doesn't feel right. What's going on? And it's really funny because this man, right, who I wouldn't accept, right? Like, he'd always come over to my place and be like, you haven't offered me this. You haven't gotten me this. You haven't given this. You haven't done this. Like, he would say like all these things I haven't done. As soon as he's like walked in the door, like, you haven't given me a hug. You haven't done this. You haven't, where's my food? Where's this? Where, like, a million things. And I, like, if I was a stay-at-home mom, or, someone didn't work, sure. But I'm like a working woman. Like, I work, and it's like, I don't have the energy to do all those things, because I'm also working. I also have a career. I'm leading a team of people. Like, I have clients that I'm leading. Like, I don't have like time to take care of a whole man on top of everything I'm doing, like, in that way. It's like a child. And so it's funny because I was realizing these things, and then I would go on dates with other men, and it's funny, like, other men would be like, hey, I'm going to pick you up at 7. I'm going to surprise you on where to eat. I know you're so busy. I'm so excited. And like, it was like, oh, with other men, I was like able to breathe. like able to release instead of like, oh, so tense of what did I do? What didn't I do? And scurrying around your mind. And I think you have to see these signs sooner and accept them. Accept the signs of what someone is doing, not what they say, not that I love you, not that I want to be with you, not that I want to work on things. Like that doesn't show that's words, but doesn't show action on wanting to work. It doesn't show action on change or transformation or alignment. And so I just want this podcast to be on acceptance, and I'm going to go deeper into it, but I want you to look within yourself. That's probably the first thing. Look within yourself. And I want you to accept who you really are and accept your desires. So like one of my desires, right, is I love to go out to dinner. I love dinner dates. I love, love, love it. Like that's one of my favorite things I love. I would take a dinner date and dancing, any night over a lot of things. I think that's one of my favorite things. Or even just actually, I should say, like I would take laying in bed and watching a movie and hanging out over a lot of things too. Like to me, I like more like intimate spaces. And I don't know, I like events, obviously like going out and doing events, but I don't mind like my intimate, private, romantic space. I don't know. I love that. And that's like something I have to accept about myself, right? Like I love that. And I love being taken to dinner. I love that I'm like a working, successful woman. And yes, I can take myself to dinner, but like the guy's got me, like he's got it. And he can pick me up and I even, oh my God, I loved another thing I love was like my guy's like, wear this, like it tells me what to wear, or like he gets something, like it's just so sexy because it's like, oh, like this life that I have to always lead and like be this top performer in, like with him, I can be told what to do. I can be guided. I can be led. You can even see my face light up if you're watching the video, like, oh, it just melts me, right? Like something about it is just so erotic to me. And I don't have to shame myself for that, right? Like I can love myself for that. I can accept that about myself. I can accept that I'm different. A lot of guys that, date me, if they're not conscious or they're not awake at all, they're always like, you're weird or you're different. Or, you know, this guy after our fight on Friday night or our fallout, he told me that I'm hard to have a relationship with, that I was never his girlfriend. I love that line. You were never my girlfriend. Okay. Just like funny. It's coming from the guy that we were going to live together, that was going to have me pay for the rent, but he didn't have money to pay for the rent, but claims he has $100 million company. Like, yeah. We never dated. It's just like so funny. And like, I just look at those things, and it's okay to accept about yourself that you want to be labeled as a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or that you want to be showcased by your significant other to people. It's okay to say that you want your partner to claim that I'm dating this person, right? Like that's okay. It's okay to say that you want someone to hold your hand in certain ways, or whatever your, sexual desires are, that you like these things and this is what makes you feel loved. And until you can accept this is what you want out of a relationship, this is what you want, like just accepting your true desire, this is what you want out of a friendship, right? Like my friendship that ended, I decided like I accept the fact that this was not a friend that I was really or what's it called? I was not really compatible for what they needed as a friend, and they weren't for me. Like I don't fit in what they need. Does it make me less or worthy? Does it make that person less or worthy of a human being that they are? We're just not compatible, right? And I don't need to shame myself for the desires of what I want for a best friend, which is like an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who can travel, someone who has freedom, someone who's living their purpose. That's not bad. Someone who, is just as successful in their own right as me. That's not a bad thing to want, right? That's good. That means like you want to be surrounded by people who are going there, and they deserve someone, if, whatever their life is, that's compatible for where they're at. But acceptance is big because you have to begin to just accept what you want out of life. And sometimes, a lot of times, when you begin to accept what you truly want, your circle is going to become much smaller. You're not going to have 55 people texting you. You're not going to have you may not be the most popular person on Instagram or Facebook because what you're sharing, who you're becoming, people aren't going to like to see you rise, right? And even Elena Cardone says this in her book of Build an Empire. An empire isn't destroyed from the outside, it's destroyed from the inside. And so you have to really look at who around you, even if they're not intentionally destroying you, who's destroying you with your thoughts, their thoughts, because thoughts are powerful. And if you have anyone around you who's having negative thoughts about you, like, oh, this person is crazy, or this person's weird. Like when guys are like, you're weird, you're so different. And whatever that it is, it's like, okay, thanks. Like we never would be dating. Like, yes, I'm intelligent. I'm smart. I'm a business owner. The way that I operate is on a feeling based system, not logic. And it's also based on colors, frequency. It would be very weird to someone who's used to logical results and doing things where 1 + 1 is 2 instead of 1 + 1 is 3, right? That would be weird. That would be like, oh my goodness. So I feel this whole episode, I want you to know that I've had to accept a lot of parts about myself in this path of awakening and this path of enlightenment. I was not always as courageous. I was not always as fearless. I had to really dig deep into who is Colleen, and I had to invest hundreds of thousands, but 10,000, 7,000, $1,200, $888, money that I could have used for nice clothes, money that I could have used for Gucci things or this or whatever it was, but I used it into discovering who I was in my early 20s, from 24 to really 28 now. The past 4 years, all I've done is invest in education and personal development and digital marketing, so that when I'm in my 30s and my 40s, I can buy everything that I like because I'm educated and I know how I work and I know how I operate. So I know how to make informed decisions based on how my body, my intuition is feeding me, is communicating to me. Like I've tapped into that. And so in this whole process of becoming me, of what you see online, acceptance is part of the journey. You have to accept not everyone can come with you. You have to accept that not everyone has the heart you do. You have to accept that sometimes you will just not be compatible anymore with the people you thought were going to be in your life forever. And it doesn't make it easy, doesn't make it like a woohoo, but it does make it worth it. And it makes you grow and it makes you evolve and it makes you believe in yourself and it makes you trust yourself and it makes you love yourself and it makes you see how motherfucking resilient you are when you choose you over settling for something you don't want, because you've accepted your true desires and you've accepted that the people currently around you can't meet those true desires. Oh my God, my ears are ringing to think, yes. And when you do that, your life just changes. Magic is birth, beauty is unfolded. And yeah, so my wish for you is a mantra of I accept myself, I accept my desires, I trust myself, I accept where other people are at on their journey, and I still choose myself and my desires. And so with that, let's do a short meditation together. I think it would be really helpful and beneficial on acceptance for all of us here. So close your eyes. We're going to do 3, or roll your shoulders up and back. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths together. So you're going to go in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Just letting your body settle into herself. Maybe moving a little bit, just feeling spaciousness occur within you. Putting your eyes up and towards the middle for your third eye activation. Really slowing down your breathing. Watching your thoughts, whatever they are, come to the surface. Whatever the first thought is, the second thought, the third thought. And just learning to accept these thoughts, not judging them and not holding on to them. Allowing the thought to simply come up inside of you and for it to pass through you. Seeing how many thoughts you think, how many thoughts arise, all the thoughts that you can accept. Now I want you to choose any thought, the most present thought, the thought that keeps coming up in your head. Maybe, why am I doing this? Or some relationship, some drama, some future reality that you want. Grab onto that thought. I want you to breathe into that thought. I want you to imagine that this thought, whatever you grabbed onto, how do you begin to accept it for the current reality of what it is? And what I mean by that is, if it's an argument, if it's this, accepting where the reality of a relationship is at, accepting where you want to be, your goals, your dreams, where you're not happy. And the next thing I want you to do is to alchemize this thought. What I mean by alchemize is, I mean turning the thought into good, turning the thought into gold. So if it's a relationship you aren't happy with, saying, I accept my part in this. I accept that I want more. If it's a career, a job you're not happy with, I accept I want more. I accept that I desire more. I accept that I will be more. If it's dreams you want to go after, I accept that I want more in this life. I want a man or a woman who will pick me up to go to dinner dates. I want a man or a woman who will cook for me. I want a man or a woman who will whatever. Alchemizing the thought to become a thought that is expansive, is something you can accept instead of dwelling in what it is currently. And feeling the difference in your body of when you begin to move into a state of acceptance, accepting for where things are instead of trying to change them, acceptance of your money situation, acceptance of your relationship, your career, your business, acceptance of where it is, and acceptance that you want more, you desire more, and not shaming those desires. Anashakaya Tareya Nokoya Paratreya Nakaya Onokoya Tareya Kaya Shanokoya Tareya. Repeating after me, I accept myself. I accept my desires. I accept that I've allowed myself to stay in relationships, situations, or career paths that are no longer serving me. I accept that there is more for me to experience in this life. I accept myself. I accept and approve my desires. I accept the best is yet to come. Putting your eyes up into your third eye. Breathing in. Holding it. Breathing out. 2 more. Breathing in. Holding it. Breathing out. 1 more. Breathing in, holding it, breathing out. Slowly opening your eyes, slowly going back into your body, slowly realizing that acceptance is the key to liberation. Acceptance is the momentum that will inspire you to move forward when it feels like the weight of the world or weight of people or sadness or pain of letting people go is too much. And what I'll say, as soon as I accepted this friendship that was over and this relationship, not was over, but they are who they are, I am who I am, and it's not compatible. I've had an amazing brand new man that I'm dating that's in my life. He's incredible. I adore him. Every time I see him, I adore him more and more and more. I've had new friends jump into my life that are so expansive. One friend just gave me this beautiful swan onyx ring. Another friend we called last night had a talk for 2 hours. I've learned to accept that I'm at the place in my life where I no longer have to experience my lessons through pain, but I can experience my lessons through pleasure. And so if you like this episode and you want to go deeper, I definitely recommend going to my website, www.colleengallagher.co, and getting my remembrance activation, as well as my alien activation. It will really support you in the next level of acceptance and ascension and remembering why you're here. And if you want to go totally deep and you want to go jumping off the deep end with me, my program Meow, it's a 6-week program, is launching on May 1st or 2nd. So you can enroll, and it's going to be an amazing experience where we go through acceptance and beauty and luxury and digital marketing and selling from soul. So message me, talk to me, let me know how this went for you. I love you.